Yo, what is up, everybody? It is time to go on the road to hoist the Lombardi. We did that mega pack opening yesterday to help assemble the squad that we have now. You guys can see all the stars on there, like the Honey Badger, Steve McNair, both new LTs, and they go on and on. And now we're going to enter head-to-head seasons to try to be the first person to win a MUT Super Bowl between myself, QJB, Toke Nasty, and Mr. Golden Sports. Some of the biggest names in the community coming together to have some fun, and we'll see what happens right here. This is the second game I played. The first game I played wasn't really much of a game to do quit right away, so I'm going to try to show as much of these games from this season as possible as we try to race these guys. Not only trying to win games, but win them as quickly as possible. That's not going to help. It looks like it does, but Ty Montgomery doesn't get both into bounds. What I do want to talk about during this video is some NFL action, what's going on in Week 14, because we have a lot of great games on slate. And we had one on Thursday Night Football to kick things off. A great one between two of the best in the AFC, the Chiefs and the Raiders. And once again, the Chiefs find a way to win in their division. They have now swept the Raiders. They have beaten the Broncos. And that was an overtime game. If you guys remember, McManus missed that field goal. And the Chiefs are looking very good. I mean, that's borderline. I don't want to say very good. They just, they're confident. They're a smart team. They know how to win football games. They cause turnovers. They got great stars in the secondary. One of the better safety duos in Ron Parker and Eric Berry. Justin Houston coming off the edge has looked great since he came back. Unfortunately, Derek Johnson's injured. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, a little bit of a troubling sign seeing Derek Carr, struggle, but that might be partially because of the finger. We'll see how that works out. They do have one of the better offensive lines in the league and Khalil Mack. But the Chiefs ended up taking the victory and now look like they are trying to get a first-round bye, which is something they could definitely use because they do struggle in the playoffs, so having a first-round bye would be great for the Chiefs. Now we'll get into the games that haven't happened yet, like the Redskins versus the Eagles. I already kind of gave away my pick right there, but I got the Redskins over the Eagles because I just think Kirk Cousins will be able to go to work on that Eagles passing defense, which doesn't really exist too much this year. They got no names at cornerback, and Kirk Cousins is good enough to where he can take advantage of defenses like that. Now, the Redskins' pass defense is also pretty bad, and it could be a fatal flaw to their team as they play against better teams, maybe in the playoffs, depending on how they close out the season. But Carson Wentz hasn't looked too well lately. He doesn't have the receivers around him to do well. He barely even has the backs. Those guys are all getting injured, like Ryan Matthews, so I feel like that sets up the Redskins for a big division victory, and they need every win possible to stay in that wild card hunt. The Colts and the Texans played today, and I'm feeling the Colts. I'm feeling the Colts because I'm taking Andrew Luck over Brock Osweiler. Now, everybody might be thinking, wow, Andrew Luck played really well on Monday night. Where was this all season? Well, this has been here the whole season with Andrew Luck. I mean, you don't see it all the time because the Colts don't always win these kind of games, as I don't know what the hell Steve McNair was doing right there, or AJ Green, but yeah, Andrew Luck's been playing great this season. It's just that they don't always have the results because sometimes the talent around him doesn't always do too great. I'm not a big fan of Colin Cowherd, but he did make a comparison the other day that I thought was pretty good. He compared Andrew Luck to Cleveland LeBron James. If you watch basketball, you guys know when LeBron first started his career, the Cleveland Cavaliers were not able to assemble talent around him to win a championship, and then he left to Miami. And that's kind of what the Colts are doing with Andrew Luck. He's got a GM that really can't provide him much, but the pass defense was locked down against a not-so-good Jets team, so there is that, and I think they could do just good enough. Oh, what a pick by Calvin Pryor against the Texans, because Brock Osweiler is just straight up struggling, and I don't know, Clowney's going to be 100%. They need him to be 100% to try to get in Andrew Luck's head, and plus, the Colts did have the Texans beat the last time they played, but then the Texans made that random comeback sent to OT. I think the Colts get the revenge. Bengals over Browns, not going to waste too much time over this. This is two non-playoff teams. I think the Bengals win. I honestly would have taken the Browns to win this game if Cody Kessler was playing, or maybe even Josh McCown, but RG3, his first game back in a while, that's not my pick, man. I'm taking the Bengals in this game. Might be a close game. Could be the best chance for the rest of the season for the Browns to get their first win, but I'm taking the Bengals. Broncos over Titans. We are going to once again ride that Broncos defense, because it is still probably the best. I can't think of a better defense in the league. I mean, Seattle's is really good, but I mean, the Broncos just, every man that starts on that team is really, really good, and they showed it against the Jaguars. And plus, Trevor Siemian is back, and that's the main reason why I'm going to take the Broncos, because Paxton Lynch does not look too good. He was decent in that spot start against the Buccaneers when he came in the second half, but the two games he started, he still looked pretty rough, but I think Siemian is good enough to help them beat the Titans, and I'm not sure the Titans have the firepower to be able to beat the Broncos defense. Mariota's playing decently this season, getting better as it goes on, but I just, Broncos defense is way too elite. Now we move on to the Cardinals over the Dolphins. The Cardinals defense hasn't been too elite as Steve McNair delivers a dime to the other team. I don't know. My man Steve McNair was struggling. For a 92 overall, he probably was my least favorite quarterback I played with all year. I'm not going to lie. Because you don't see people usually miss throws like that, but McNair was just weirdly inaccurate. I don't know why. His stats look good. Like, he is good at rushing the ball, but I don't know. He just wasn't able to pass the ball. But I would take the Cardinals over the Dolphins in this game. The Dolphins need this win to stay in wild card contention, to fight and claw with those two AFC West teams, and you know, someone from the NFC North that might take a wild card spot. This guy ends up rage quitting after we get the user pick. Calvin Pryor was all over the field right there. But I just think the Cardinals, just like the Redskins, should be able to take advantage of that Dolphins secondary. Now the Dolphins are going against better competition. I think this is where they show the fact that they're more of an 8-8, 9-7 team than the team that won 5 straight. They still have Jay Ajayi, but we'll see what happens. It should promise to be a close game. Tannehill should do better than he did last week. The Cardinals defense hasn't exactly been locked down. You have Patrick Peterson and Calais Campbell and guys like that, but mainly the Honey Badger's been the main problem. He hasn't been healthy throughout the season. Lions over Bears. The Bears did win the first matchup of this season. I think the Lions are hot right now. I think the Lions get this done. But I will say this. I do like Matt Barkley. I did not think Matt Barkley was worth a damn in the NFL the way he played on the Eagles, but he is doing good with not so much on the Bears. It's definitely a more than respectable performance, and the Bears are playing hard for their coach John Fox, and you have to respect that. And they should give the Lions a game, but I don't know. I'm not too sure it might even be close. I think the Lions are just locked in right now. They had a great defensive game against the Saints, and, you know, Potter Drew Brees all day, and Matt Stafford is living up to all the hype about being a first overall pick and all that good stuff, even without Calvin Johnson, as we keep on saying. Now we go to Steelers versus the Bills. We will take the Steelers over the Bills. Sometimes with the Pittsburgh Steelers, you just have to hope you're not playing them when they're hot. Right now, the Steelers look hot. Antonio Brown's looking great. Le'Veon Bell is looking great. Offensive line's looking good. Ben's looking good. And the Bills like to run the ball. The Steelers have one of the best run defenses in the league. I think those two cancel each other out, and Tyrod Taylor might not be able to pass on the Steelers, and that helps the Steelers win this game. Panthers and Chargers, that's just a complete toss-up game, man. Those two have been probably the most two inconsistent teams in the whole league. The Chargers keep on blowing four-quarter leads. The Panthers are just a Jekyll and Hyde performance, as that's intercepted by Navarro Bowman. Great play right there to get us back in this game. I'll take the Panthers just because the Chargers just always choke leads, and you just can't take the Chargers to win anything nowadays. But that's just a straight-up toss-up game. Vikings over Jaguars. It feels like the Jaguars are due to get on the board to eventually get a win, because they are playing in a couple of one-possession games, but they just never seem to win these one-possession games. Though they are always against pretty good defenses, and the Vikings do have a pretty good defense, and I think, you know, Blake Bortles is just not playing too well this year. The offense in general not playing too well. No one besides Allen Robinson's doing too well. Now Julius Thomas is on IR, and I think that Vikings defense should be able to get them to a victory. We'll see if the Jaguars can, you know, get pressure on Sam Bradford like pretty much every team has against that horrific offensive lines. We take the lead, running it in with LaDainian Tomlinson. 49ers over Jets. 49ers versus Jets. I keep on saying I have it in my notes who I pick over which team, so I keep on reading it that way. But 49ers over Jets. We'll just leave it at that, because that game is really not too important to go over, to be quite honest. Sorry to 49ers and Jets fans, but that's more of a, you might want to lose that game so you can get a better positioning in the NBA or NFL draft. So we go to Falcons over Rams now. I was really tempted to take the Rams to win this game, but I just can't pick the Rams until Jared Goff proves he can win an NFL game. And he came kind of close against the Saints, had 3 passing touchdowns in the first half, I believe. But I don't know. I'm just going to take the Falcons. The Falcons are a little bit beat up right now. They lost Desmond Trufant for the rest of the year, and that's definitely a problem. That's definitely a problem what I just did. That was the second interception, and it's going to be the second pick six I threw on the same exact play. Maybe I should not have been running that play. I also should have realized there was edge pressure coming off the left side both times, and I mean, it's just completely my fault. I gave this dude 14 points, and you really can't do that when you're trying to rush for victories. I was probably in too much of a rush and didn't read the pressure, and that's what happens. So now we move on to the Falcons. So I have Falcons over Rams. Should be a close game, though. I think the Rams with Aaron Donald and all those boys, Michael Brockers and whomever, can get Barry, and those guys can all get pressure on Matt Ryan. I keep on saying wrong names. And Matt Ryan, a little bit inconsistent against some of the better defenses in the league, as that's going to be a touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins. That's a back burner right there. So now we go to Saints versus Bucks. The Buccaneers are playing pretty well. They're on a little bit of a hot streak, but I think the Saints actually cooled them down. I think Drew Brees gets a little bit of redemption after struggling against the Detroit Lions, comes back against the Bucks, and I'm just not sure that the Bucks are a playoff team this year. I like them. I like the talent they have. I like what they're assembling. And I said it before, them and the Titans, I just don't think they're playoff teams this year. And I feel like this is a game that they just might lose and learn how to win later on. And plus, the Buccaneers are offensively challenged a little bit when it comes to their receivers. There's a lot of guys injured. Like, you got Mike Evans, and I don't even know who the second string receiver is. All the guys like Humphreys fell down. Cecil Shorts got hurt. So I don't know who Jameis is going to have to pass the ball to. And the Saints defense did actually play, okay against the Lions. It was just that Stafford was on point. So we'll take the Saints. We'll see how that game goes, though, because the Saints are literally capable of anything. They really are. They really are capable of anything. So we go to the Seahawks versus the Packers. That might be the game of the week right there. Aaron Rodgers is starting to heat up. Coincidentally, Jordy Nelson is starting to heat up. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are getting hot in the second half. They just trashed the Carolina Panthers on Sunday Night Football. And I have the Seahawks winning this game. Aaron Rodgers does traditionally play pretty decent against the Seattle defense. Earl Thomas is out for the year. Earl Thomas, though, wasn't really having his best years. So we'll see how much that really affects the Seahawks. I do have them winning this game. I do think that, with Russell Wilson against that Packers defense, they should be able to take advantage. Rawls might not have too much success against the run defense, but Russell Wilson against those cornerbacks, I think will be just good enough to win. And we're falling apart in this game, by the way. We're about to quit out this game soon because we got to move on. You guys know I don't quit games, but we got to, get the show rolling. So eventually we're going to have to quit out. Though we are going to get an interception with Darius Slay. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys versus Giants. I got the Cowboys. I think their offensive line helps them win the game, helps them win yet another game. I'm a Giants fan, and the Giants did beat the Cowboys in week 1, but I'm just not sure they get the sweep on the Cowboys. It's going to be really hard. The Cowboys are a really talented team. Jason Pierre-Paul was just announced as out, and we definitely need him for that game. And Odell, traditionally, besides that one-handed catch, struggles against the Cowboys. And if Odell doesn't show up, our passing game might not show up. And Eli Manning is playing pretty freaking bad lately. And the Cowboys defense is a scrappy defense, and they should be able to rattle Eli Manning. I think that helps them win what will probably be a close game, as Cowboys and Giants games usually are. Now we finally transition to Patriots versus Ravens. That's going to be a good game. Joe Flacco is coming off a good game. He's going against a suspect Patriots defense in general. Decent passing defense, but suspect defense in general. And Joe Flacco traditionally plays well against the Patriots, and it should be a good game on Monday Night Football. And then, of course, you got Tom Brady on the other side going against one of the best defenses in the league without Rob Gronkowski, but it's still Tom Brady, so you expect to see some fireworks. It's going to be a close game. I have the Patriots winning, but that game can go either way. That game, the Seahawks game, and the Chargers game. I feel like all three of those games are just complete toss-ups. It's just, you got to pick who you got to pick. And I'm picking the Patriots in this one. So leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. I'll bring some more Hoist and Lombardi videos later on. Probably one more tonight. And let me know what you guys think about in the comment section. I'll try to get to you guys what you guys' thoughts are. And I'll catch you guys next time.